I've thought about making this video for a long time this morning, and then I just decided, grenade them. Anywho, that's good. Soprano Musings, abroad. This is probably the video that a lot of you English Wizards hopefuls really want. Here is everything that has happened since I've been with English Wizards program, and the reason why they get a 2.5 out of 10 from me. Before I get into English Wizards and everything that has occurred in the last few weeks, let me give y'all a disclaimer. I am a freelancer, so English Wizards is not my only gig. Thankfully, that is the case, because if not, I would have been on the first thing smoking right now. And I'm probably going to take that route if things don't turn back around, because I've been watching the news, and I know people are talking about having travelers take a vaccine, the COVID vaccine, which I think is too soon. I think more testing needs to be done, and I don't want to have to take a vaccine that could potentially kill me. Given my history as a black person, I can't even say in America, I can just say the whole world, because systematic racism is everywhere, and that's that. I don't want your vaccine. It took years for me to take the flu shot, and that's only because I volunteered at the hospital. But anyway, we're getting off topic. So I arrived in Poland, as many of you know, August 1st. I will go ahead and post the link so you can see that video. And I was in quarantine at the hotel, so I was in quarantine for 14 days. Those 14 days I spent trying to read as much of the material as English Wizards had provided me with. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say about 40% of that was places to eat, places to go clubbing, again in the middle of a pandemic, places to go clubbing and sightseeing, which, by the way, I'm not gonna completely knock it. It was helpful to a degree. I did go to a few places once I was out of quarantine, but for the most part, that information should have been spent on something else, and we're going to get to that in the towards the end of this video. So yeah, like I said, I was in quarantine for 14 days in August, and then my first employer here with English Wizards contacted me. We met, had an interview. It was really cool, really chill. That worked out. I was completely fine with just having that one client through English Wizards, because I basically came to Poland because my contract ended in South Korea, and I wanted to officially get my CELTA, which I did, and look into launching that into my Delta and figuring out where to want to go. Because if you looked on a map recently, then you know Poland is not a bad idea to start off in if you're going to begin your adventures in Europe and Spain and all those places. It's just a really sweet spot. So yeah, that was my plan. Also, I'm a freelancer again, so I was ready to take a break from working Monday through Friday, 7 to 7. I was done. I wanted to tap in more into my creativity. I have a few other networks that I was exploring. By the way, I have other channels on YouTube, and I was looking to revamp them, relaunch them, and really prepare myself for freelancing, for my creative freelancing abroad experience. That ain't what happened. That ain't what happened. Not in the slightest. Not at all. And I'm clapping my hands because I really want to curse. And I'm not going to do that because I'm in the co-working space. And that is why I'm filming in this co-working space. English Wizards is a new company. I get that. English Wizards has a very small staff. I get that. I'm not, I didn't come here expecting the red carpet. I didn't come here expecting the same expectations that I have come to know and love from South Korea. Honestly, I can't really compare the two. They're on different tiers, okay? And I'm not even saying that to be malicious or shady in any way. It's just talk program has been around a lot longer than English Wizards. Talk program has multiple locations, whereas English Wizards doesn't. Again, it's a new company. I know that. I know that there will be hiccups and miscommunications. That's to be said with any company, no matter where you go. However, back to what I said earlier in the beginning of this video. I don't like passive aggressive behavior. We're all adults. I am here in a professional capacity. I am not here to party, okay? I've been roaming around the sun for almost 4 decades. I've done my fair share of partying. Not to mention, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, in case you haven't noticed, I feel that certain departments within English Wizards are spending far too much time trying to socialize. And again, I'm gonna put a pin in that because we're gonna get to it at the end of this video. Yeah, I was at the hotel. I was perfectly fine at the hotel, but my work permit would not be delivered to me until I had a physical address to send it to. That is what I was told by the admin. So I had to leave the hotel. I did that. I went looking at apartments, this and that and the other. I found one that I liked. It didn't have a washer. Just typical apartment shenanigans, like things that you have to deal with. And then I realized while here I would have to sign a year lease. And I was like, F that. I don't want to sign a year lease for a new apartment. So I was thinking, well, maybe I could just take over someone's lease if someone's leaving. We looked into that. Obviously, couldn't really find too many volunteers for that. Understandable. Again, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Totally get it. I agreed to move in with a roommate in a really nice part of town. It's like this historical part of town, so I knew that it would come with its own problems. Fully prepared to face those head on, which I did, which is how I found a co-working space. And that is how English Wizards got that 0.5, because I posted about looking for a co-working space in Facebook, and someone actually did respond, and I did find this really dope co-working space. So yeah, I was cool with that. So yeah, I was at this apartment. If I'm not mistaken, the exact move-in date was September 7th. September 7th. I'm gonna keep saying September 7th because as the story unfolds, come find out, that was when the lease ended. The lease ended in September. So for all of those that are scratching your heads right now saying, why is that important? It's important because English Wizards admin staff moved a foreigner into an apartment that had not had an extended lease. I've worked in HR. I've actually worked for a couple of apartment companies. And I think that is why that bothers me so much, that someone in that building thought it was completely kosher, completely cool to move somebody in an apartment that had not had an extended lease. I mean, even with the slightest possibility, you could have said to me, okay, listen, this apartment, the lease is up in September, but we're hoping to extend it. Do you still give me the option to just quietly move somebody in and say, yeah, sure, bring all your stuff here, and then we'll send your things so you can have those before you apply for your TPR, and yeah, we'll move you in. Great, no problem, cool. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I didn't find out for sure that the lease wasn't going to be extended. It's been like 2 weeks, okay? It's almost December. It's almost December when I found out about that. And I'm still hot. I'm still very hot about that, because that is just basic courtesy, professionalism, just all of that just went to, y'all know where it went. It went right where that creepy little clown is that everybody likes to see. I don't know his name, but because I don't do clowns, but it went right down the sewer. And then when I said, okay, fine, you moved me into this place, I gotta go, I get that. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my phone Because for now on, I'm screenshotting everything, every message, every hello, goodbye, how you doing, whatever I get from them at this point, I'm screenshotting it and I'm sending it to various emails as confirmation, because I need receipts, because it's just unacceptable. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and read what I wrote, because one person in particular at English Wizards has been somewhat helpful as far as admin. I usually send messages out to various people. At this point, it's just for comedy relief, because I know I'm not going to either get a response, or the response I get is just going to be half-baked. So the person that I sent my message to, let's see. Oh yeah. This was the date that I officially got notice. By the way, I didn't get notice from English Wizards. My roommate told me. And this all happened November 23rd. Yeah, November 23rd. So November 24th, I sent a message to someone in admin saying, hello, I have to leave my current apartment by the 15th of next month. This is me asking if I can leave by December 15th, because I just found out, again, November 23rd, that the lease was not going to be extended, that the owner wants us out now. And then I asked, do you know of anyone that is looking to leave their apartment earlier and would like someone to take over their lease, or of any apartments away from the marketplace? Because that's pretty much where I'm centrally located right now. This person in admin suggested 2 people, one of which I contacted right away. They had no idea what I was talking about. And so I had to do a little gumshoeing on that part, and we figured it out. Second person, they're moving in March, which would be ideal. That's the apartment that I'm gunning for, because his lease ends in March, and I want it because I want to be gone as soon as humanly possible. So yeah, I said thank you. Hello again. Thank you for the late reply. I will not be able to move out of the apartment until Tuesday, December 15th at the earliest, as the person who is moving out now, they won't be out until the first week of December. Is it possible to schedule a date and time to review the apartment and discuss the lease with the landlord next week, please? Hello. We will try to do something, but I can't promise that this man will agree. Yeah. And to be fair, actually no, hold on, let me go back. Let me see. Oh, so November, sorry, my correction. So I found out 10 days before. November 12th, they answered and said, I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier, but the contract has expired a few months ago, and we called the owner today that he has to create a new contract, so I will let you know when it'll be done. So, okay, so fine, my mistake. So I got an actual text notification of that November 12th. And yeah, I'm screenshotting all of this and I'm sending it to various emails. So yeah, so for those of you that I lost somewhere in between that, I was moved into an apartment September 7th here by English Wizards. That lease had expired. I did not know that the lease had expired until November 12th. It is now November 24th and they want us out of the apartment now. You know how they initially got me to move out of this apartment? Like, really? They got me to initially move into this apartment by saying, oh, well, we can't send you your work permit until you have an official place to stay. So that is why I left a hotel. And I am still no closer to getting my TPR than I was once I left the hotel. I literally have my work permit and that's it. Can't schedule an appointment to save my life to actually go down there and apply. Not to mention, key point, I had no money. If it wasn't for the fact that I had other freelancing jobs and gigs that I was working while working for English Wizards for the last few months, I would be brokety broke, because I was working officially with my first company. I was working with them in September. It was going great. And then, then after that, I went down the creek because I couldn't figure out how to submit pay. I couldn't figure out how to submit my hours. I couldn't figure out how to do the authentic materials. Even though, mind you, that was all supposed to be covered. There was an orientation that I went to and I got full of Indian food, which was great. However, when I went directly to speak to the person of admin to explain my issues with them, this is what I was met with. The Polish smile. Someone did eventually try to explain to a group of, I would say, about 30 people in this really tiny Indian restaurant underground in the middle of a pandemic how to do this, how to submit hours and all that stuff. And there is a very short video on their YouTube channel of how to do it. It's not thorough enough. It's not. It's a complete hot mess, and it really is not ideal for 2020. So yeah, there's that. Eventually, I finally figured it out. Like after a few weeks, I just got my first pay for October. I just got it like 7 days ago. Here we are. We're almost in December, and I'm just now getting paid for October. So when I tell y'all that are on your way to come here for English Wizards, when I tell y'all to save your coin and to have other means of like income, I'm not kidding, because the chances of you getting paid for your first month that on the 15th of the following month are slim to none. They're really, it's unbelievable how many people I've talked to within the last week that did not receive a check come the 15th of the following month after working for a whole month. And a lot of people don't have as many options as far as I do, as far as like other work. And I'm highly upset because I almost had to take money out of my savings twice. Almost had to take money out of my savings twice behind having to deal with English Wizards foolishness. Okay, during our interview process, we're asked if, you know, you can adapt to situations, things like that. And I totally get that you have to be adaptable, but that does not mean that I get to be a doormat and you could just kind of casually come in and say this and that and expect me to just up and move and rearrange my entire life because you couldn't be bothered to do your job. I paid for the business English internship. And literally, besides making sure that I had accommodations, which again, I paid for, and making sure that I paid for the business English internship, I still can't really see why I have to give English Wizards a cut of my money each month. I really don't see any other services that they offer. Considering anything administration-wise that I've had to deal with, they haven't really helped me on. When I was in quarantine, I actually had the cash to go ahead and schedule my appointment so that I can pay for my application for the TPR. And I had to cancel that appointment because I did not have a permit. I did not have my paperwork. And that was the reason why, again, I moved out of the hotel into an apartment because they said that they could not send it to me. But they were willing to send it to my old address in Korea because it was a residential address and it wasn't a hotel. I offered to go down to the office to pick up my permit so that I would not have to cancel my appointment to get my TPR. And I was told, nay, that won't be necessary. We'll send it to you when you move into an apartment. So basically, y'all moved me into an apartment that did not have an extended lease. So you could send me a piece of paper that I could have went and walked and got. To say that the level of trust between myself and English Wizards is all but gone is just, well, that's just correct. It's gone. That bridge of trust and mutual just accountability and respectability, it's gone. It's in flames. It's literally ash. If you step on it with your toe, like literally, like the ash would just float up to the sky and you'll see it there because it's gone. I don't have that anymore with English Wizards. Don't have it at all. I wouldn't trust them right now to send me a postcard. I don't at all. And it's quite sad because overall my experience here in Poland is great. The first employer that I have is great. The third employer that I just started working with the last couple of days, because yes, I did take on a third employer because the second one has to go. I'm not going to work for them nearly as much next year, if at all. So yeah. Still want to come to Poland? Still want to deal with English Wizards? So now that I've shared that with you guys, and I'm clearly going to go over my 20-minute mark with this video, but y'all need to know this is my experience. Again, disclaimer, my experience. Maybe your experiences will be different. I don't know. And for anyone that works for English Wizards, this is a part of the video that you want to tune in for, because I'm not gonna be a complete, rantaholic, even though I could. I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can improve overall. I get that right now, teaching online or English teachers abroad, it's a numbers game. You want to keep those numbers up, right? I get it. You're a skeleton crew. I totally get it. Respect the hustle. Truly, I do. However, here's some tips on how you can improve that by taking care of the teachers that you do manage to get here in Poland. Because if I'm not mistaken, we had roughly, 8-10 people in my business internship course, and already 3 of them are gone. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be number 4 or number 5 by, let's be generous and say March. So yeah, cater to the teachers that are physically here in Poland. Okay, cater to them. Okay, and if they pay for the business internship program, offer them more than a good time at a pub in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, so I get that you have a department that handles like entertainment and things like that. However, I think it would be in your best interest to shift gears and really make sure that your employees, your contract employees, actually know how to use the online system in which they have to submit their authentic materials so that they can get paid. Because if we don't get paid, guess who else doesn't get paid? You don't get your cut. Yeah, no, you don't get the, 250 USD. Yeah, you don't get that if we don't get paid. So the longer you have these invoices standing out there, you're not gonna get a check. Side note, the fastest response that I've ever received from English Wizards was in this regard, because what I did was I talked to my first client, and I told them, I'm still having a little trouble here with English Wizards, trying to make sure I get paid and things like that. And they suggested that they send me the money directly to my account. And then I I sent Slack. I sent a message, again, screenshot, but just for fun, I like to pull out my phone because, just to show you guys, really. And if anybody wants to see this, all you gotta do is go to my Instagram, you'll see it there. So I sent the message, and remember how I said that there was that one person during orientation that I tried to speak to directly about my problems with my pay? Yeah, I normally just screenshot them, the messages that I send the other person, because I know that they won't reply back to me. I mean, why would they? I mean, that's only their job. So, let's see, we'll go back to the exact date. Yeah, there was a transfer issue because, silly me, I just got the numbers mixed up after teaching all day. I'm so sorry. So eventually I did get paid. So let me just go back to the date. This all happened, this all happened actually right around the time that I found out I was living in an apartment with no extended lease. So I was a little busy, preoccupied, trying to find another place to stay. So I basically said that my current client sent me an email stating that the invoice was incorrect. We were trying to figure that out. This all happened on, let me go back to the exact date, November 10th. November 10th. So I flat out told them that my first client went ahead and paid me directly. And we're gonna read the message that they sent me because I found it hilarious. November 10th. So I told them flat out that not only did they have the rate incorrectly, but that my previous client would not be paying the invoice from English Wizards. And I sent that message at 12:09 p.m. so in the afternoon. When this person finally decided to check their messages and respond to me, it was 3:18 p.m. and they said, "He can't send money directly to your account. That's not legal. We issue invoice to the school. School is paying English Wizards and English Wizards is paying the teacher. That's why we have contract with the school." I know that. Again, not even an hour later, I have spoken with our CEO and he spoke with my previous client. You need to send back that money. That was the fastest response I've ever gotten from this person. The next day, "Hi, did you send the bank transfer back to the client? Also, did you submit your authentic materials from the link that I sent you?" I attempted to send it to the link that they sent me and the link was broken. We'll get to that later. So If you don't know how, I can help you submit. I bet you will. You know why? Because again, if I don't get paid, they don't get their cut. So yeah, there was some live movement in that office that day. But yeah, just a side note, again, like I said, English Wizards, you want to take care of the teachers that you have. I'm happy that you are still recruiting in the middle of a pandemic when people may not even be able to like fly from the US. It's great. It's really good. However, it's time to shift gears and really focus more on that. Again, orientation is coming up soon for those of you that have been accepted in the English Wizard program. And I'm going to give you some questions that you need to get answered right away. If you are still looking to have English Wizards help you with admin, God bless. God bless. Because really, I think outside of making sure that you have a work permit, that's pretty much the extent of their capabilities. Heaven help you if you decide to use them to find an apartment. I can recommend you a few Facebook groups that would be much more helpful to that. Again, don't recommend it. I would give them literally a 1 out of 10 because they did technically find me an apartment. So if you're looking for an apartment through English Wizards, yeah, 1 out of 10, would not recommend. And if you do, be sure to ask them the following questions. Is it possible to see the lease in English and Polish? I mean, well, maybe you don't need it in Polish, but I'm just being polite. Also, with that lease, you want to make sure what's included as far as electric and things like that, because maybe there is a base rate for when you move in. If you don't go over that, then you don't get charged, let's say 300 zloty, which is almost 100 USD. So for those of you that are worried about finding jobs and things like that, again, you're not going to have any trouble finding a job. Trust, you're not. However, if you want to make a reasonable amount of money to where you can live comfortably, you might find fault there. So just for those of you that want an example, let's say KM company, they're looking for a teacher. They're going to offer the bare bones minimum, which is like 45 zloty. Translate that into whatever your current currency is, and you'll see it's not a whole lot. But again, quality of life in Poland isn't too bad. You could still stretch that. Ideally, I would say 55 to 65 zloty is ideal if you're looking for work. But again, the same methods that English Wizards uses, besides networking with local businesses that they know, which I'm assuming aren't that many. You can do that yourself. You can do that before you come here. Honestly, I think Poland is a lovely place. I really do. And I would recommend anyone come here to visit or to work. Do I recommend using English Wizards at this time to do that? Nope, cut out the middleman. It's going to take you a while to get your visa in order anyway. Just go ahead, do your own admin. Don't bother using English Wizards. Because again, like I said, outside of making sure that you get your work permit, they're not going to be much helpful. Just don't do it to yourself. Yeah, but again, if you are currently enrolled in the internship, you've already paid your coin, just keep your receipts. Make sure everything is on the up and up. Definitely make sure that you learn how to submit your authentic materials and your hours so that you get paid. I would highly suggest the first day of orientation you have someone walk you through that, because after that week is going to be jam-packed. You're going to be hit with a lot of material, and a lot of it is really good material. So I guess I could bump English Wizards, my rating, up from a 2.5 to a 2.75, because you do get a lot of incredible information. As far as if you've never taught before, it's a lot of helpful information. The Slack group, I think it gives you some good pointers. They do post job postings in there daily, so I'll bump it up to a 2.8. You do get job postings there. Last time I checked, they are working on beginning a CELTA prep in February. We'll see how that goes. Again, not holding my breath. I've already found a few places. I was just asking in English Wizards a couple of days ago to see if anybody else was interested in being my Delta study partner, because I want to take it in the summer. But anyhow, I don't want to get off topic, but yeah. So that's been my experience pretty much here in English Wizards in Poland. I'm trying to find other things that I could say that would be helpful as far as the English Wizards program, but really, I don't have anything else to say. I think it's kind of funny in a way that I have more glowing reviews of the co-working space and the hotel that I'm now going back to than I do about the English Wizards program. Yeah, so in short, 2.8 out of 10, would not recommend. Go ahead, cut out the third man, and just go ahead, step into your truth and become your own boss for real, for real. If this is where you want to come, if this is where you want to be, go ahead and do the visa work on your own. Heck, at this point, I will help you. If you have a question about your work permit, what you need as far as coming to Poland legally, I will happily help you with that. And if anybody would like a video on how to apply for your work visas, or for digital nomads, for freelancing visas around the world, I would be more than happy to make that video, because quite honestly, this will probably be the last video that I do for English Wizards. So if you are watching my content in hopes for more English Wizards content, don't get your hopes up. It's probably not going to happen until like it's time for me to go. Then you might get another video, but until then, no, not really. Nay. Anywho, it's been interesting. And even after saying all that, I can multitask. I could still be severely disappointed in my interactions with English Wizards and still enjoy myself here in Poland, and that is what I'm going to do. So once I get settled into the hotel, I will begin to present you all with the Introvert Traveler. That is the next, that's the next series that I want to work on here for YouTube. And then I will go back to doing more of my freelance work. So thank you guys. If you made it all the way through this video, tell me, what did you take away from this video? What do you agree with me on in this video? If you don't agree with me, tell me why. Because again, if you're going to disagree with someone, at least give them a legit reason as to why. What has your experience been like with the English program? If you are applying for the English Wizard program, why are you applying? If you are about to begin your internship in January, tell me what you're most looking forward to. Any other tips that you may want, let me know in the comments. And oh, the sun's coming out. Okay, cool. So yeah, thank you again, especially if you made it all the way through this video. Thank you again for watching, and as always, be inspired, stay inspiring, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.